Hi guys, I'm Roderick Wormsley from Fish Tech Solutions. We're on one of the northern New South Wales rivers of Australia, having a crack at some of the Australian bread and butter species, namely bream and whiting. We're going to be trialling some of the new OSP lures, the Estuary range of braids and the palms rods, and just spent a morning on the water, myself and Peter Herbst, one of our pro staff anglers, and see if we can piece together a few fish. It's a nice day for it, so we'll get out there and have some fun. Better one?
A little bit.
Nah,
Flattered.
flathead on the bent minnow.
Just threw this bent minnow, I put in a couple of centimetres of water and just worked it across the surface, gave it a bit of a pause, and this flathead's jumped up and sucked it in. Very small surface strike, but good flatty. When you're fishing these shallow flats, you want to try and get a nice long cast to work with the wind if you can. Get the lure right out, start bringing it in quite fast, keep your rod tip high, give it a bit of a shake to get the lure to dance across the surface, and fish will come up behind it. Unlike a bream, you might stop and have the fish grab it. You basically want to keep the lure moving as fast as you can, or the same pace, and the fish will usually come up and smash it when it's moving, which is good. Just bringing this bent minnow across the shallow flat. Unlike your bream, you want to keep this lure moving quite fast. The more faster the sort of retrieve, the more excited they get, and the surface strikes are pretty spectacular when they take it.
The key to fishing these flats is really getting the lure as far away from the boat as possible. And to do that, we use really fine diameter braids. The braid I'm using today is Estuary sea bass. It's a finesse braid. So you've got a really thin diameter for breaking strain. Light leader, probably twice the length of your rod, 1.5 times the length of the rod, just to keep that braid visibly away from your lure. And any little corrugations on these sand flats, so make a big long cast across a sand flat with corrugations in, even if you can find one that's got yabby holes, something that will bring the whiting onto that flat, and then just work your lures through that area. And once you've done a few drifts through that sand flat, you'll actually find a bit of a sweet spot. So there'll be one area of the sand flat that seems to be holding the whiting, and then just keep working that over, give it a little bit of a break. Just keep punching out those long casts, working those lures really quickly, and hopefully you can catch a few. Something that simulates a skipping prawn or a skipping baitfish, we're using those OSP bent minnows, and that's got a really nice darting action, hopping around, and you'll actually see those whiting peel off a fair distance away and start chasing your lure, and then you just want to concentrate on keeping that retrieve steady. And as soon as that fish bites, just lean back, don't go too hard on the fish so you don't pull the hooks, and yeah, you can actually get a reasonable feed of good size whiting by doing this. They go all right, these whiting. This is a fairly reasonable one. You just smash that bent minnow off the surface. I've actually got him sideways. We'll bring him around. Lure out away from the boat, a nice long cast over the flat, really fast skipping retrieve, and this whiting's just come up and smashed it. You can see he sort of tried to grab it, and as he's grabbed it, it's hooked him under the chin, so he's actually come up out of the water to grab it. And yeah, that's a really good size whiting. It'd probably be up around 35 to 37 centimeters, and you get a couple of nice fillets of him if you wanted. If you didn't, you just release him in good health, and yeah, get back out there. Oh, got him! Brembo.
Yeah, Brembo. I paused it for a second. Oh, he's not a bad fish.
Yeah, nice bream off the flats. Nice solid hook up there on that back hook. So a good time to catch these whiting is as that tide's getting up, so about probably, you know, the first bit of the run in tide, depending on the depth of the flats, you can start on the outside, and as that tide's working in, these whiting will be moving back up on those flats to feed, especially where there's yabbies, and you can sort of follow them up, working those outside of those flats, and as the tide gets higher, they'll move right up into the shallows. And you know, you can be fishing in 1/2 foot to a foot of water if you can get your boat in there, and if you can't, just hang out a bit wider and make those long casts. But as soon as you can get up in amongst those shallow flat areas where there's yabbies or bits of weed, that's when you want to be getting in there. And this is the type of fish you can be catching. Here we go, Pete's on behind us just there on another one. So we'll get him back in the water and get straight back out there. There you go, mate. Pete's got another nice one. Sweet.
Start off the day today fishing a little bit cleaner water at the mouth of the river, and you know, a lot of follows, basically not a lot of fish eating. We've moved up the river now to a more discoloured area with a lot of fast current running over it. The fish are a lot more active coming up, hitting the lure a lot harder. You know, follows are now more strikes, and they're more comfortable eating in the sturdier water, so it's something to look forward to, or look for when you're going fishing for these whiting.
And that cleaner water would probably have fished well, Pete, if we had a bit of wind on it maybe, but
yep.
You know, just something to churn it up a bit and give those fish a little bit more cover when they're hunting. So, you know, just keep an eye, just because, you know, any flat is not the same. You know, some flats will obviously fish better than others, and like we saw that cleaner water and the fish were a bit shy, so if we had 15 knots or 20 knots of wind on top of that, then those fish would probably been a lot more aggressive and a lot more confident eating the lures, whereas here they don't have any wind to sort of give them that confidence. They've just got a bit dirtier water, so you know, moving up the river and having a look for different areas can also still get you amongst the fish. There's one, got him.
Nice.
Oh, he's got friends. Oh. Oh, double,
yes.
Yeah. There you go, there's two nice whiting. So we've had a pretty good day today on the water fishing these bent minnows, and we've caught flathead, whiting, bream. We've even seen flute fish and some other species have a crack at them. Basically, the bent minnows come in 3 sizes. This is the 76, the smallest one. Then we've got the 86 and then the 106. Range of species, bass, jacks, trevally. You know, you pretty much just about anything that's out there that'll eat a lure will eat one of them. And it is a really unique lure with that bent shape. and it gives that really erratic action, and it's the erratic action that actually makes them so effective. Doesn't require a lot of rod work to get them going. A few flicks of the rod and they'll have that action. Pause, constant retrieve. It's pretty much very versatile and you can do a lot with them. So we'll get these fish back in the water and we'll see if we can catch a few more species with our bent minnows today.
It's Bill Klassen here from The Fishing Show, and if you like this instructional video and want to learn more, it's simple. Go to fishingshowtv.com.au and see a whole host of additional videos.